to that, Verghese, but quickly we'll take in this big news as Samajwadi Party workers cleansed the statue of Madan Mohan after Narendra Modi garlanded it. They are trying to cleanse the statue of Madan Mohan Malviya with Ganga Jal. Well, Madan Mohan Malviya's grandson is one of the proposers for Narendra Modi, and now after Narendra Modi, during his grand show of strength, during his road show, went up to Madan Mohan Malviya's statue and garlanded it. Samajwadi Party workers are cleansing the statue using Ganga Jal, going on to indicate that the statue has been made impure with Narendra Modi garlanding it, and this is the kind of reaction that is coming in from Samajwadi Party workers. Let's not forget that, of course, SP and BJP have been at loggerheads in Uttar Pradesh, and now Samajwadi Party workers taking this war to an all-new level after a grand roadshow by Narendra Modi. Samajwadi Party workers, they're quoting controversy. Madan Mohan Malviya is in fact one of the more prominent leaders of the past. He was with the Indian National Congress and was their 4-time president, and he then became the founder of the BHU. And ironically, his own grandson Giridhar Malviya, who is a retired judge of the Allahabad High Court, is one of the 4 proposers for Narendra Modi. And now Samajwadi Party workers, in an act of a revolt, going on to cleanse the statue of Madan Mohan Malviya. Well, these are the scenes, in fact, where we can see Samajwadi Party workers who have come up to Madan Mohan Malviya's statue and are cleansing it. This a few minutes after Narendra Modi garlanded the statue. Well, speaks of the kind of politics that is being played across the country. More than on issues, as we discussed earlier, more than on issues and developmental issues, it is being fought on such matters. Now, Samajwadi Party workers actually going ahead and trying to cleanse the statue.
Well, Nishchita, we must understand from the perspective of the notion of impurity and the way they are using Ganga Jal to cleanse. So it just shows that, you know, in politics also, strangely religious symbols come into highlight, and over here just they consider the act of garlanding to be making the statue impure, or the personal statue impure, and the need to Shuddhikaran, or in the sense the need to purify it again, being showed over here, where these SP workers are in fact trying to cleanse it with Ganga Jal. So quite strangely enough, it looks like it's again, maybe because it's Varanasi is known for its ritualism, again it's ritualism that's taking looking high in politics as of now, and it is also again a symbolic way of saying that they don't agree, but again it's using ritualism to say that they don't agree.
That's right, in fact, and ritualism very local to Varanasi. They're using Ganga Jal, which is so close to the hearts of the people of Kashi. Ganga Jal being used to cleanse the statue of Madan Mohan Malviya, one of the more prominent politicians of the past from Varanasi. Madan Mohan Malviya was a 4-time president of the Indian National Congress, and he went on to become the founder of the BHU. And today, it is his own grandson Giridhar Malviya, who is a retired judge of the Allahabad High Court, who is one of the 4 proposers for Narendra Modi. And during his roadshow, Narendra Modi made 3 to 4 stops. He garlanded the statue of Madan Mohan Malviya, he garlanded the statue of Swami Vivekananda, as well as B.R. Ambedkar, as well as freedom fighter Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. And now, in an instantaneous reaction from rivals Samajwadi Party, SP workers today were seen at Madan Mohan Malviya's statue, trying to cleanse it using Ganga Jal. This is the kind of reaction that Narendra Modi's detractors from Samajwadi Party have resorted to after he garlanded Madan Mohan Malviya's statue. The supporters are holding up posters and trying to cleanse the statue using Ganga Jal. Well, Well, YSR Congress candidate Shobha Nagi Reddy died today after an accident last night in Hyderabad. Nagi Reddy, who was 45 years old, was critically injured after the car in which she was returning after campaigning last night swerved and overturned. She was sitting in the front seat and was thrown out of the car. She died in a hospital in Hyderabad today after suffering severe head injuries. And the YSR Congress leader passed away after suffering severe head injuries last night in an accident. She was the YSR Congress party leader and Allagadda candidate, and she succumbed to her injuries that she sustained in the late night road mishap. Shobha was returning to her native Allagadda from Nandyal in Kurnool district after wrapping her campaign when the accident took place. The car in which Shobha was reportedly travelling in overturned after hitting paddy heaps dumped on the side. She was reportedly flung out of the car and sustained grave injuries on her head and neck. The accident took place in Dubaguntamitta near Allagadda. Shobha was shifted to Suraksha Hospital in Nandyal, and after getting preliminary treatment, she was moved to Care Hospital in Hyderabad. She was in a critical condition and went into coma. Doctors at the hospital put her on ventilator and tried to revive her. But despite efforts, Shobha passed away this morning. She is survived by her husband Bhuma Nagi Reddy and 3 children. Shobha and her husband were once top leaders in the Telugu Desam party, but after the actor-turned-politician Chiranjeevi floated his Prajarajam party, Shobha quit and joined the PRP. She contested in elections and won as an MLA. However, she later joined the YSR Congress party and was active in the party. She was reportedly amongst the top leaders of the party. And unfortunately, after sustaining grievous head and neck injuries in a late-night accident yesterday, she succumbed to her injuries this morning. She survived by her husband and 3 children. It is said that Shobha's car swerved and overturned after hitting paddy heaps by the roadside. She was flung out of the car and she sustained grievous injuries. She was rushed to a nearby hospital. And what you see in the left-hand side of your screens are the visuals of her last campaign. It is believed that Shobha Nagi Reddy was one of the top leaders in the YSR Congress. Well, her last campaign was with Jagan Mohan Reddy's sister Sharmila, who campaigned for her. She is the Allagadda candidate for the YSR Congress. In fact, she was returning to Allagadda from Nandyal in Kurnool after wrapping up her campaign, and that's when the car she was travelling in met with an accident. She was sitting in the front seat when the car swerved and overturned after hitting paddy heaps that were kept on the roadside. She was thrown out of the car. She sustained grievous injuries and she was rushed to nearby hospital. She was shifted to Care Hospital in Hyderabad, but unfortunately the doctors could do precious little to save her and she breathed her last. She went into coma, in fact, last night itself, and the doctors had put her on ventilator in an attempt to revive her. She survived by her husband and 3 children. On the right hand side of your screens, you are seeing the accident site, and that's the car in which she was travelling in. We can see the mangled remains of the vehicle in which Shobha Nagi Reddy was travelling in, and a few of the pamphlets also that have flown around. Initial reports indicating that the car was traveling in high speed, and that's the reason why it couldn't take control after passing over paddy heaps kept by the roadside, and it overturned. The door opened and she was flung out of the car. The impact with which she was flung out, she sustained grave injuries to her head and neck. She was rushed to the Suraksha hospital in Nandyal, but she was soon shifted to the Care hospital in Hyderabad after getting preliminary treatment. But unfortunately, precious little could be done to save her, and she was YSRCP's Allagadda candidate. It is also believed that she was one of the more prominent leaders in the party. Shobha Nagi Reddy and her husband were once top leaders of the TDP or the Telugu Desam party, but they then joined Chiranjeevi's erstwhile party, the Praja Rajam party. Shobha then quit the TDP and joined the PRP, and she contested the elections, which she won as an MLA. But however, recently she joined the YSR Congress party and has been very active in the party activities. She was reportedly also amongst the top leaders. She's survived by her husband Bhuma Nagi Reddy and 3 children. Tragedy striking the family as well as the party ahead of the elections. One of the prominent leaders in the YSRCP losing her life to a unfortunate road crash that took place last night. Well, after 5 days after cattle trader Kabir was killed by the personnel of anti-Naxal force at a checkpost near Sringeri, a murder case has been booked against the ANF trooper who opened fire at Kabir. Though the identity of the accused ANS trooper has not been revealed yet, sources say that he has been booked under sections 302 for murder, 341 for wrongful restraint and 295A for deliberate and malicious acts intended to outrage religious feelings of any class or under the Indian Penal Code. The move comes amidst widespread protests and public outrage over the incident. Kabir, along with 4 others, was transporting cattle from Tirthalli to Mangalore in the early hours of 19th of April when ANF personnel at a checkpost near Sringeri stopped their vehicle and opened fire, suspecting them to be Naxals. While 2 managed to escape, Kabir was shot dead and 2 others were arrested. Soon after the incident, some people allegedly belonging to Bajrang Dal assaulted Kabir's family members when they went to receive his body. The state government initially announced a compensation of 5 lakh rupees to Kabir's kin and later increased the amount to 10 lakh rupees. A CID probe has been ordered into the case. Well, Kabir, a cattle trader, had been shot dead on the 19th of April. It is said that Kabir was transporting animals and the ANF Jawans mistook him to be Naxals and shot him down. Even when the family members went to receive his body, few activists believed to be the Bajrang Dal activists attacked them and did not allow them to carry out the final rites of Kabir, after which widespread protests had broken out. In fact, it even led to several attacks on the leaders who had spoken in favor of Kabir and his family members. It is believed that Bajrang Dal activists had even smeared cow dung on leaders who had spoken in favor of the deceased. These were the scenes witnessed after the shootout took place. Several cattle too had been shot at. 2 others had managed to escape but were arrested, and now a case has been registered against the ANF Jawan. The incident took place in Sringeri and it had given rise to a new round of tension in the already communally sensitive region of coastal Karnataka.